Is it me or let's don't forget now, 10/28, second wife's birthday, is 12/28. December was the 10th month. Christian Bale to our 12/28 date, his birthday. 17864, 48 years, 10/28. 10 months, 28 days. But watch this. This is so weird. Because I've also got Daniel Craig, the two guys that really play Trump over and over, no matter what movie they're in. Remember, Daniel Craig played Trump in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He got the right eye wound. He had sex with the girl with the dragon, represented Lucifer. Christian Bale, American Psycho. Who's the American Psycho? Well, of course, that'd be the Antichrist. Look at everything he's. And so from birthday to birthday to these two Trump guys, you ready for this? 2160 days apart. Daniel Craig, 3268. 216 is Daniel Craig's license tag. One of his many license tags. But the most popular. It's the 216. It's in his classic car. 216 license tag for James Bond, Daniel Craig. BMT 216. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. Alabama always with the 18 helmet when it's displayed on ESPN. Where they'll have like helmets sitting around. Let's get back to the lecture at hand. So, again, Daniel Craig to Christian Bale's birthday, 2160 days. 216. But it's got 10/28 in the days. I mean, months and days. 5 years, 10 months, 28 days apart. So 10/28 is coded, just like this 12/28 is 10/28. And Christian Bale to the offing date of 12/28 is also 10/28. 48 years, 10/28. So, and then Daniel Craig to the offing date, he's 20024. That's 224. Well, that's how many days old I am right now. I'll be 22455 on the offing day. So there's that 224 coded. It's crazy. 286 on the weeks. 4 days. 286. They're just nutty. Y'all, I apologize for the super long. I don't think it's going to get a lot of views because it was just so long. And I hate that. But there's some deep stuff. It's got 18 views. I don't ever look at the stats, but we hit on like 20 different things from one to the next. That is just like the fact that that's a right eye that gets shot in every James Bond open. There's just a million things we go over. You just wouldn't believe it all. It's loaded. That is a high quality video, even though it's also extreme on the quantity. 91 minutes, 10 seconds, 91 minutes, 9 seconds when you click it. But I do not think it's a waste of your time. Watch it on the TV, on your smart TV. So you don't have to, please don't watch this stuff on your cell phone. And if you try to listen, it won't be the same. These are definitely visual type videos. But it's a killer video for the 28th, 27th, and all the things that bounce off of it. How's it going, everybody? So if we were to run through it real quick, just to give you an idea, and I should have put breaks in there. Down in the description, I can put breaks. So that's the weirdest anomaly yet. You'll just have to watch the beginning. It's too much to explain. You really do need the visuals for that one. So, at least give me, then we go through my prep, which is loaded down with stuff. More absolute bizarro world. All the different coding in these movies. But boy, when I go over James Bond's speech, oh, that's right. I want to watch this video. We really show you how on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and we give you the visuals and the audio connections to No Time to Die. And we Googled it and showed you that everybody compared the two, that not compared, that they were linked through songs, music, and the Trident, the Poseidon Trident, so on and so forth. But when I start breaking down this speech right here, that's deep. When we start breaking down, there's your 666 on the odometer with you at 148 in the movie. But when I start breaking down Daniel Craig's speech as it's really Trump speaking as the Antichrist, and how he said it would have been nice to have a choice, because it had nothing to do with the movie. The things they were both talking about had nothing to do with the movie. They go off on a tirade and they tell you how people want to be programmed. We programmed the earth around us because people want to be programmed, and we show you how God's ordained even the evil. We show you the Bible verses that speak to that, all three of them. Again with that 54, again with the 322 and the 54, and then we start breaking down at some crazy mathematical anomalies. 121, 486, 486, 486, you know, Antichrist 4 being 86th. Wait till you see what that's about. Nutty. And how the James Bond showed the jet, and the same jet that was leaving Afghanistan. We kind of take a look. Was that a balloon? Was it not? Was it real? But this thing here with the Heidi 2, then the movie Heidi's coming out on the 28th on Stars, and how Heidi 2 is in the marquee of, and an Alpine was on top of the marquee, and how on Her Majesty's Secret Service it was called the Alpine Room. We just start connecting everything. Everything. What I need to do is speed this thing up to max. You see where it says Heidi 2? Up there, Alpine Room. I mean, Alpine in the movie. Groundhog Day. On the marquee, it said Heidi 2. Well, the first Heidi was on 11/17. So this means the next 11/17. And we figured this is Saturn and Sun God matinee. Doesn't necessarily mean it's Saturday and Sunday. Saturn is for Satan and the Sun God and so forth. But then we went through where it said Alpine at the top. The Alpine Room that was in, again, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. So we give you the audio of that. I mean, then we go through all of your comments from both channels. We made a video for combine both channels, and how in No Time to Die, no, this is Spectre, his love interest that is in both movies. She looks at him and says, 2 Jameses, how lucky am I? Again with twin Trump, and there's more twin Trump. It's twin Trump everywhere you turn. 45 on the sales, and Spectre or No Time to Die, I can't even remember. More Grove items. We look at Billie Eilish. We look at the villains. There's the Trident again. The 3-pronged Trident. We look at these numbers in the coding at 148, 88, 121. Just, they had in this James Bond where they showed all these numbers on a database, they had 666 500 in one of them, which 500's Strong's Concordance for Antichrist, G500, which is the reversal of 5G technology. Come on, what do you think all this stuff is? And this is when we break down and go through at the 53-minute mark. Boy, if you don't watch nothing else, watch me break down. Go to the 51:16 and at least watch me break that down, where I go through their dialogue, where it's really telling us it has nothing to do with the movie. It's kind of like that You Can't Handle the Truth had nothing to do with the movie. Like as if we couldn't handle that. You have to rough some Marines up to get them right, you know, to toughen them up and follow orders. Yeah, I think we could handle that. I think we already knew that. You Can't Handle the Truth was talking about how, and they speak to that. and the battlefield everybody's about to be on, and how they want to be controlled, and how people don't really want independence. They want to be controlled. They want oblivion, he says. And we just really detail that. We use Bible verses, lots, not lots of Bible verses, but the three main one. And a few of us are born to build it for him, and that's Mystery Babylon. They create the oblivion for everybody. And he says, we are their invisible God. Well, the ghost in the machine is their invisible God that's actually writing the script for all of it. So so we go through and connect everybody's birthdays from the movie Billy Eilish, and then we go through Telling Truth 3's comments. We look at where the sun and where all the somebody talked about how all the planets are lined up. Davo Sweeney talking about name, image, and likeness. God's name, image, God's name, God's image, God's like. Well, of course, it's the image of the beast. So which God? Well, exactly, their God. We just, I'm breaking it down to save you time if you just know you're not going to watch it. Brooke Shields. Well, what is that exactly? So somebody had spoke to Brooke Shields in the comments. So I said, well, let's bring HIM her up. And yeah, very ghoulish. Sandra Bullock. What's a bullock? A bullock's a male. Turn thou me, Lord, and I shall be turned. Because you can't turn yourself. There's no free will. Even in the Old Testament, sat right there and said it. Turn thou me, Lord, and I shall be turned. That's where you get that word bullock.
According to Spurgeon.org, turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Lord my God. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 18.
I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus, thou hast chastened me. That's what the Lord does. That's out of Hebrews 12, 6-8. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastens and scourges. He locks you down. He beats you. He beats the world out of us. That's why we get so humbled. We're not walking around puffed up. The Lord takes the meek, the downtrodden, and he just beats the world out of you. And then he builds you back up. Build back better. See, they borrow everything from our world. Thou hast chastened me. He's telling God, you've locked me down. And I was chastened, he said, as a bullock, unaccustomed to the yoke. Sandra Bullock, M-A-L-E, 100%. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Lord God. God has to do it to you. You can't repent enough on your own free will. It is impossible. There is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after God. I think that's Romans 3, 10 and 11. There is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after God. There is no human on earth. Whoops. Romans 3:11. There is no human on earth that has or ever will, other than God coming into flesh, have the ability to turn yourself. There is none that understandeth. There is none that seeketh after God. None. Man doesn't have the capabilities to. You have to be called. You have to be chosen for the foundation of the world. And then Jesus said, only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You're born lost. You get the call. And he locks you down and beats the world out of you and drags you through the repentant process, kicking and screaming. You think I wanted to come out of the world? I haven't had sex since 2012. I'm not that unattractive. I mean, the last girl almost married, the more we talked, she was like, good grief, you slept with every single one of my friends. I was like, yeah, I know. But we weren't having sex because then I was straight. This was 2015. We fooled around. She ended up being a Q freak. Q, the Q movement. She doesn't just support Trump. She is in love with Trump. So why did the Lord split us up? I broke it off twice and still wanted her back because it was the Lord doing it and I didn't want out. I wanted that flesh, 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 flesh. So it's a process. Get it? That's one of the words they use, process. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Your comments, which I love your comments. Telling Truth 3, Telling Truth 2, very strong comments. And you don't see negative comments because I hide users that just come on and there's not hasn't been many. Has not been many. There's been a few snarkies as of late, but ain't worried about it. What do you expect? When you do you me doing what I do here with this content, I would expect 99.9% would think it absolutely nuts. It is nuts. The Lord's reality is crazy. And my reality's been crazy. But it's okay. The Queen and James Bond. I think I want to watch that. It's only 6 minutes. James Bond and the Queen. You just never know what you're going to pick up on. Anyway, love y'all.